Hello, dear judges and fellow competitors. My name is Arthur. I am part of the team called LXers, and we are building the ElizaFi project for this hackathon. So, just a brief overview. It's a AI agent that manages your crypto portfolio for you, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, let's begin the demonstration. So, we open the chat, right? Let's start with how much crypto do I have? Okay, and we are using the Venice AI API, uh, and the actual model that we're using is DeepSeek R1, which is a reasoning model. And because of that, it takes a little bit longer to respond than usual because it's using the thinking token. So it's thinking before responding to us. Okay, we got the response back. 480 USDC, 989 USDT, a little zero DAI. An Aave, we have 1020 USDC, a couple USDT. Okay, perfect. And we even have some Ankr. Okay, I'll go over that part a bit later, but for now you can just check in our assets. That's exactly the numbers that we have here. Okay, so let's start by asking what are the yields on Aave, for instance. So for this project, we've mostly been working with USDC and USDT because we have built this for the Sepolia testnet, and the USDT and USDC are just very easy to acquire and simple to use. And for the purposes of our demo, they do the job just fine of demonstrating the business logic and the financial logic of our agent application. Okay, okay, we have the percentages here. Okay, cool. So let's start with let's stake, I don't know, 10 USDC on Aave, for instance. Okay. Okay, it's thinking, it's using the reasoning tokens, it's calling the action, doing the whole transaction thing, first making the transaction, then wrapping it in the safe, then calling the safe to approve the transaction. So there's a lot of stuff going under the hood, which is basically the whole thing of it is abstracting, so it's easier for the users to utilize. Okay, perfect. We go to the transaction hash, let's copy it, go to Sepolia Etherscan, copy paste it into here, search. Okay, perfect. We have this transaction here. We can also go to Safe. We can go to Safe Transactions. Okay, 525. That's the time right now. Multi-send, USDC approve. Okay, we have this big number here, which is, it's a big int, but that's 10 basically. Okay, perfect. So, logic, this is a standard business strategy, right? You supply some tokens, you generate the yield from it, right? Okay. The normal business logic and the financial investment logic is that you generate yield, right, and you reinvest it into other assets with a higher return rate, right? So for instance, okay, let's say we deposit this USDC, right, and we generated after some time 1 USDC with yield, right? Okay, so this is a scenario, I don't know, a month or however long passed, and we got the yield of 1 USDC, okay? So the logical thing to do would be to exchange this asset for a more high yield one, and in this case we can see, okay, so USDC is like, okay, 7.5% APY, right? It's not great. DAI is 50, USDT is 56. Okay, so we can see that USDT is the highest yield asset, right? So logically we would exchange it for USDT, right? Okay, so we did implement the actual swapping logic using CowSwap, also one of the providers as well. Currently, an issue with CowSwap on the Sepolia test network, specifically on any test network, is I'll demonstrate you in a second. So swap. So what we got? 1 USDC for USDT, right? Because we want to reinvest the earnings we got and make more money, right? That's the logic. Okay, so there's the issue. The issue is very simple. There is very little actual liquidity on the CowSwap Sepolia deployment, which is a problem we kept running into, and without trying to solve it. Yeah, here it is. No error executing swap not found. The full error is, I will show you here in the logs, error type, no liquidity. Yeah, it's a tough issue to solve, but this wouldn't be a thing on the mainnet. So let's just keep working on the assumption that we swapped it and we have the 1 USDT now. So let's continue. Now stake this 1 USDT on Aave. So we're reinvesting back on Aave with the earnings we generated before. Cool. It's pretty normal financial strategy. Okay. It's thinking, generating reasoning tokens. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's continue. So let's switch to our medium strategy. Okay. So let's do that. Let's switch to our medium risk strategy. Okay, I can spell. That's good. Okay. So yeah, DeepSeek, hosted on Venice. It's thinking. Okay. Using its thinking tokens and then responding. Okay, perfect. This will approach focus on ETH, staking on Ankr, and restaking on EigenLayer. Perfect. Okay. So okay, let's stake 0.01 ETH to Ankr. How about that? Oh, that's the first step it told us to do, right? So let's do it like that. Yeah, it does also require 1 week unbounding period. Unbonding, sorry. Okay, perfect. Staking to Ankr complete. Perfect, okay. So, okay. Then next step, we will... yeah, these messages sometimes pop up. You can just ignore them. This is the actual message. Okay, perfect. So now let's restake the same amount. Let's be a bit more specific. Let's restake 0.01 Ankr ETH to EigenLayer. Yeah. The reason I'm saying let's be a bit more specific, it's just a question of prompt engineering and not on the user side, on our side. It's just literally that. A bit more modifications to the system prompts that we send to the language models, and these things will not be an issue. So, okay. Yeah, again, this message, you can ignore it. Staking to, okay, perfect. To Ankr and EigenLayer complete. Okay, perfect. That's great. Now let's switch to our high-risk strategy. Okay, now it's time to check out our high-risk, high-reward part. So most investors are probably not gonna go down this route because, well, it is sure high reward, but it's also too risky for for the profit that it generates relative to the other methods that we have already built in. So, okay, let's just dive into it. I want to check out the high risk stuff now. Start with this. So yeah, as most investors are probably not going to use this. This is the least built out part of our project. So yeah, take account into that. So okay, right now it's Foxy. We have this number. It's kind of arbitrary because you can never really correctly estimate it unless you have like 6 months of foresight. But whatever. So okay, if I had 1 ETH, how much could I buy of Foxy with? Apologies for the broken sentence forming a little bit. Yet again, DeepSeek R1 is thinking. So this part I got from an API call. Okay, so yeah, you could get this much of Croak. Okay, that's not Foxy. So yeah, this issue keeps coming up. At the moment, I believe it is something to do with the prompt engineering that we created. This number is correct. The symbol is not, but it does use Linux under the core to fetch the data for Foxy. Yeah, it's an issue that keeps persisting. We're not really sure why at the moment. Yeah, yet again, this is the least built out part of the project. We didn't really want to focus on it as much. It's not that important. But yeah, apologies for this, and yeah, thank you very much for watching our video, for watching our presentation, the demo. This has been our project, ElizaFi, and I hope we can get your vote. Thank you very much.